Alright, we'll try it. Hello everybody, welcome to Tpull's Corner. We are trying an experiment because I want to see what happens on something. We start with the Ledger Shredder. That counts as another spell. So you exile the desk to cast another desk. Alright. Next I need a phase spell. And that will be all we need. Okay. Evangel comes down. Ah, perfect. Okay. So we just need Geth to survive one turn, and then we bring back what we want to bring back. Slip Out the Back is our phase spell. I made it a mono black Geth deck, and it says when you return your target creature, it gains this text. If this creature would leave the battlefield, exile it instead of putting it anywhere else. So what happens if we phase it? Because we can short circuit some sacrifice triggers that are consequences of other cards by phasing it out. And I want to know, can we short circuit this cost? Can we avoid the exile if what we do is we phase it? But no, why would you do that? I need that card. Out of all the ones you wanted to do, now I have to go get another phase spell. Yeah, I guess we'll just get rid of you. What do we care? Alright, we got 5. Let's kick this. We'll draw 2 cards and they'll have to discard something. Bingo. Slip Out the Back. Okay. What'd you get rid of? Artificer's Dragon? Okay. No attacks. I don't really care if I win this or not. I just want to experiment with this, so I need Geth to survive. But I'm tapped out. It's gonna come. The creature's gonna come straight to the battlefield. So we'll make it the cheaper one, so to speak, the 5/5, because it's not as much toughness, and hopefully they won't scoop right away. I want to give them a chance to destroy it. Sure, we'll just sacrifice that. There's a little unearth kind of thing going on. Okay, so if we bring back the Gimnarch, they'll have to discard another card. Okay, if you leave the battlefield, exile it. I don't care if they kill Geth now. To get rid of Yosha declares war. Alright, try and kill the Grimnarch, will you? They can use this reactor now if they want to. Which one do you kill? They're going after Geth? They're eyeing the Grimnarch. Do the Grimnarch. Come on. Come on. The Grimnarch. Excellent. Okay, so we slip out the back for Grimnarch. We did it. Okay, so it short circuits it. So the text, the instructions for Geth, Thane of Contracts, if the creature would leave the battlefield, You exile it. By the time it's trying to check for that, no, wait, it's back. Oh, and he leaves. Hang on, let's look at this. Okay, the creature would leave the battlefield exile. Okay, so we still have to worry about that aspect of things. So you can phase out without a penalty, but when it comes back, you'd still have to exile it. So it's not like it could go to the graveyard and we would get a chance to bring it back with Geth again. This is kind of the way they wanted to handle, I think, the possibility of infinite type combos or just repeatedly getting the same creature back with Geth. Is they wanted to add this rider. The creature would leave the battlefield. So you get to bring a creature card back from the battlefield or from the graveyard to the battlefield once with Geth. You can bring back any number of different creatures, or if you have duplicate copies, like I have another Grimnark, if he ended up in the graveyard, I could bring a second Grimnark back. But you can't bring back the same one more than once with Geth. That's why they want to add that additional rider on. And unlike Blitz, with the way that Blitz works, if you try and Blitz a card, it's going to sacrifice itself at the end of the turn. But if you phase it out, then when the rules text goes to look for the card, it's not there to sacrifice, and it's a one-time trigger. But what they did here was they left that text. It still comes back onto the card when it phases back in. I feel like I want to look at that again and see, is it my imagination or did the text disappear when it phased out? Well, let me show you the whole deck. I don't know that I've come up with a name for this yet. Let's call it Geth is not phased. How about that? For the server to act, we remind you to like and subscribe. Welcome to the newer subscribers. We're glad that you joined us. If you really want to spread the gospel, so to speak, go ahead and share a playlist or share a video. I think that'd be really cool to help introduce, if you know somebody who plays Magic and would be interested in the types of things that we experiment on and the questions we ask. Okay, so we played Geth, Thane of Contracts with a prototype deck last time. And I was just looking at this text, if the bottom sentence, if the creature would leave the battlefield, exile it instead of putting it anywhere else. So that's a restriction. It means we can only get we can get the creature back one time. If the opponent kills it again, it doesn't go to the graveyard. And that's the people at Wizards trying to make sure that we don't abuse this card too much. But when we slipped the creature out the back that had that, I guess it phased out, but it was still on the battlefield. I don't know if that matters, but I figure if somebody will bounce it, if we bring it back from the graveyard and they just bounce it, it probably won't go into our hand, right? It'd probably just get exiled because of that text. I didn't include a Fading Hope, but maybe I will for this. Okay, because we know that some of the phase works. So I don't really want to search for it that way, because I haven't searched for anything yet. So let me just go here. We'll add 4 of those, and let's take out... Where's my other cheap spells? La 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 la. I mean, I'm up to 74 cards as it is. I kind of need something. Okay, let's go ahead and take out... Let's just take out all the Mirror Shell Crabs for now. Okay, and Fading Hope takes the place of that. And we'll add that to the experiment. I just want to hit done and save it real quick, then we'll go back in and show you. Okay, help me remember. Mirror Shell Crabs. Let's go back in later, right? Okay, so we're going to test the Fading Hope, and we're going to bounce it. And it should exile, I think, if the rules text stays the way it's supposed to. But to do this test, we have 3 copies. That's all I have of Geth, Thane of Contracts. And then we've got some big creatures we're going to get back from the graveyard. To test this out, we'll have the 4 Fading Hopes. We've got 4 copies to slip out the back to phase them out. Here's another phase card, March of the Swirling Mist. We could target multiple creatures to phase out if we felt like it. We've got, to help populate our graveyard, 4 copies of Ledger Shredder. Say that 3 times fast. Whenever a player casts their second spell, this creature connives. So we draw a card and then we discard any one of the cards in our hand. So what we're looking to do is discard one of the more expensive cards. We've got Suspicious Stowaway that also, when it deals combat damage to a player, you draw and then discard a card. But if we flip tonight, then we don't have the discard disadvantage. It just becomes the green Seafaring Werewolf, and we just get to draw if we hit. But it can't be blocked in either form. For removal, this is mostly just to help us survive till we get what we need done. 4 copies of Sheoldred's Edict, because I have it now, and it's one of the more versatile removal cards. Right? If a token's giving you a problem, you get rid of a token specifically. Don't give the choice to the opponent. If a Planeswalker's out, you get rid of the Planeswalker. If you want to get rid of the Planeswalker, it's great. Another drawn discard, Evangel of Synthesis. I may try and make a deck at some point that just deals with all of these second spell cards, right? Draw a card. As long as you've drawn 2 or more cards, it gets menace. So whatever gives me the chance to draw a second card, we'll put that together and have fun with that. We have Ludovic Necrogenius. So if we can't really get to using Geth, but we get Ludovic down, we could just exile our creatures from the graveyard anyway and make one big, huge creature. 1 Siphon Insight to exile what's in my opponent's deck. 1 Tainted Indulgence to draw and discard. 4 Phyrexian Espionage with the kicker so we can draw 2, and if we kick it, the opponent discards a card. So this one's a nice one to have, but I'm not obsessed about keeping it for the kicker necessarily. So I'm much more willing for this card than most other cards to spend it without paying the kicker just so I can go ahead and get my draw spells when I need it. We've got Unctus Grand Meditect, a rare card from Phyrexia. Other blue creatures you control have whenever this creature becomes tapped, draw a card and then discard a card. So I was looking very specifically for ways to draw and discard because I want to fill up my graveyard with some fodder for Geth, who for 3 you can tap and return the card from the graveyard to the battlefield. Here's Kaido Shizuki, draw and discard for his +1, but if you attack you don't have the discard, and you get the little blue ninja creature token that can't be blocked. We've got Psychic Pickpocket that connives when it enters a battlefield, and if so then you return a permanent to its owner's hand. And 1 copy of Katos, so we could get something from their graveyard. Okay, so the big bombs, we have Carry the Swirling Sky. These are things that we'll discard and then bring back with Geth. We have 4 Cruel Grimnarks. Very common Phyrexian Cleric, 5/5 with Death Touch. When it enters the battlefield, each opponent discards a card. For each opponent who can't, you gain 4 life. I want to play a Commander game with this card and have it inflicted upon multiple opponents. Get on that, Wizards. We need the multiplayer commander format here on Arena. Disciples of Gix. For 6, it's a 4/4 Phyrexian human. When it enters the battlefield, search your library for up to 3 artifact cards, put them into your graveyard. So I only have 1 copy of this, but if I get into the mid-game and for some reason I can't get it the rest of my creatures, none of the others are showing up, but I do have Geth. I can play this card, I can go get some of these things, which should count, and throw them into my graveyard and then get them out with Gix. I have 1 Hullbreaker Horror. We have 2 Phyrexian Flesh Gorgers. We have Dusk Mangler. And we have 2 Cityscape Levelers, which I think these are becoming very popular as far as the bomb to use. The only thing I didn't include is Titan of Industry, really, just because he wasn't right in the color. Dusk Mangler, if you're not used to seeing Dusk Mangler a lot, additional cost to cast a spell, you have 3 choices of what you can do. Sacrifice a creature, discard a card, or pay 4 life. When the Mangler enters the battlefield, each opponent has to do all 3, not just 1. They sacrifice a creature, discard a card, and lose 4 life. So that's a nice spell. So let's go in and let's try and get something out with Geth and just confirm that it should go away if I play a Fading Hope on it. And these tests are good. I like to run these in the real environment as opposed to Sparky because like sometimes I want the enemy to try and exile something. Sparky doesn't usually get into complicated things like exile. It's maybe a combat spell or a direct damage spell. That's about it. The questions that I have are a little bit more complicated. And they're usually things that are involving some sort of interaction. I can try and just do the interaction myself, like with Fading Hope. But it doesn't always work out that way. So it's good to have a nice environment that encourages interaction, that I expect interaction, more interaction than I get from Sparky, to make sure that this test runs the way I need it to. So this will be fun. Let's bring out Evangel now. And draw and discard. And I'm going to discard the Disciples of Gix. As long as your turn has first strike, we don't care about that. But we do care that we have Geth and Fading Hope already. And next turn, we can bring back the Disciples of Gix. So just don't get rid of Geth just yet, okay? Just don't get rid of Geth. Thank you. Perfect. Fly over my head, give me poison. Yes, yes, yes. Alright, 2 Fading Hopes. Bring back the Disciples of Gix. Search your library for up to 3 artifact cards. They will put them all conveniently up front for me. And he's looking at Geth now, isn't he? This is a combo I don't think I was able to do in the previous deck. I'm tapped out, so I can't save Geth if they go after Geth. Go ahead. We just don't care. Let's bring back the Phyrexian Flesh Gorger. And then we attack with you. You should block. They're not going to block, they're just going to take it. Okay. Well, we've got 2 mana. I guess we might as well wait for a second. Let's just go ahead and play out the game. Siege Veteran. This comes out as a 6/4 because of Geth. Remember, other creatures that I control have -1/-1. And we'll just throw you away. All right. Let's bring back the Cityscape Leveler. Attack with you. They take the damage. What else you want to do? As long as you don't kill me this turn, I'm good. Or even if you do. Alright. Let's use Fading Hope. See? Exile. Okay, that's what I thought. Attack with all of you. Get rid of you. You gotta block something. There's a chump block. No? That's 13, so that's 1 off. And you got trample there. What do you do? Really? You're gonna block set, I guess? How about... I was gonna phase Geth and save him. Alright, so the rules text holds up for Fading Hope just like I thought. And we get dragged to the bottom out of that. Not too shabby. Alright, let me go back in. Let's go ahead and give the deck a name. Geth is not phased. Even though we might phase our other creatures to save them. And maybe I don't need Mearshell Crab in here. I mean, Fading Hope is a nice utility card. I don't use Mearshell Crab that much. And so that was kind of why I wanted to use him. I wanted extra creatures so that Geth would have a nice... We'd make a good draw discard pile. But that Disciples of Geth's little combo worked out really nicely, didn't it? If you're ever wondering why you might want to throw 3 good artifacts in the graveyard from the get-go, use this card that we all thought was a bad card. I think almost everybody on the original way that when they first saw this card and they saw the penalty up top, the first sentence, everybody and their dog went online and said, "This is a bad card, don't use this card." You give me Geth and Disciples of Gix, hey, I'm set. Maybe I should stack it with 4 copies of Disciples of Gix. I would need to survive till 6 still, because you still need 6 to get out Disciples of Gix. You want to get rid of my Lethal Shredder already? Let's keep the pressure on, I guess. We're going to use that now. We've got 2 of these, so let's put one out. Can't really save it, but we could put out a replacement right away if they have removal. Not really concerned about that. And I'm getting told that dinner's going to be ready soon, so I might make this my last match, just so I can go get some hot food. We'll see how quickly this is. There's some Phyrexian cards in here already, right? Is this going to be a poison deck? Do you have Toxic? You have Adeline. No, not Slip Out the Back. I want Fading Hope. Go away! Oh, Shoulder's Right. I like that. I do like that card. Okay, next we play you. We attack with Geth. This comes out as a 2/2 instead of a 3/3. Oh yes, please do. Yes. Pay 2 life for the destruction. You didn't put Adeline down again. They activate Shigeki. Vanishing Slash goes in the graveyard. Attack for 1 point. Bring me back my Phyrexian Flesh Gorger. Thank you very much. It's good to be me. And to think all I was trying to do was take Geth and Slip Out the Back and run a test. And man, do we like what we ended up with. I'm already maxed out at 100 decks. I need something to get rid of. I need to make a deck that I think doesn't work. I need to make a deck that gives me, like, some kind of problem. Yes, attack with a 1/1 white human creature token on the ground while I have a 6-power creature with lifelink. Oh, well, he's a 3/1. Sorry, I forgot you got Ginny Faye out. So I'm going to net 5 out of there. Oh, man, I only have 4 lands? I don't have anything else in my graveyard. I am just puttering out here. Yeah, here. Sacrifice a non-token creature. Probably Lauren. Yeah. I guess we end the turn. I wish I had something more I could do there. They could go get Lauren with Shigeki. Are you going to target the Flesh Gorger? They have to pay the cost, right? So we'll let them pay the 6. And then we have it slip out the back. Okay, this is what I wanted. Can I slow this down? Hit control. Okay, oh look, it disappears. The text in blue. If this creature would leave the battlefield, it's not on the card now. That's the final thing I wanted to test. Okay, so as soon as it pops back in, we don't really care what they do. Oh, we gotta wait for the attack though. Okay, it's back there. So the text is back. Isn't that interesting? If you're phased out, it actually removes the temporary rider and then it puts it back on. I haven't really seen that happen with any other card. And we're gonna die here because I'm willing to get rid of both of those for that. Yeah, it's a fair trade, I think. That gets exiled in the turn. 24 to 6. Oh, sorry, you gain life. Artifacts pumps that up. Shigeki can get back... How many cards can you get back with that? 1, 2, 3 different cards? They're just going to go get back all their stuff. Look at how many cards they... Look at how many lands they got out. 7 lands. That's weird. They go back... They get Banishing Slash and Overgrown Farmland. Huh. Let's do this. We will get rid of Cityscape Leveler. And I think we just bring you back up. No attacks. I got a little bit of time, right? Oh, that's lovely. Let's do carry. Bring carry back up. Bring Psychic Pickpocket back up. There's no target for this Banishing Slash yet. No target for Lauren, but they still bring Lauren down. I may have to concede soon. I'm being told dinner's ready. That's fine. 12 points they can do next turn. Okay, so now we return carry. And we can go ahead and make you sacrifice a non-token creature. Lauren again, I presume. No, the Vanguard, okay. Now Banishing Slash on Geth. They have enchantment and artifacts, so they get another creature. They shouldn't be trying to brum rush me. This should stop them from attacking. There we go. Time for another Geth. Purely on defensive mode because he's got such a big army massed against me. Oh, I just looked at my opponent's name, Dirt Cobain. We're both drawing cards. They're digging for something. Another Shigeki. A second Shigeki, eh? Alright, my turn. we are going to bring back the Cityscape Leveler. Oh yes. Nothing else for now. I feel good. I've got to slip out the back and mana to cast it. Vanishing Slash? No thank you, not again. Haha. Oh, they must have 4 Lorens. They are prepared against artifacts, aren't they? And they give up the ghost. They don't even try. We were going to have so much fun with that in a second. I was going to bring down Psychic Pickpocket, throw Dusk Mangler back into my graveyard, bring Pickpocket back up. This is a nice little combo that I didn't get to do because I didn't have blue in the last deck. It was mono black. But this is a fun combo with Geth. Bring Psychic Pickpocket down. You can put a target non-land permanent back up into your owner's hand. If you keep getting your big bombs, just throw Pickpocket back up into your hand and throw your next bomb into the graveyard, bring it out with Geth. So, nice little thing there. I was really happy that popped up during the demonstration. So, we learned a lot today, didn't we, everybody? Class was in session. Alright, I'm going to go in, and sometimes I play longer, but, as I said, in real-world time, dinner is ready. So I'm just going to show you, Geth is not phased. I don't think Geth is a bad card. We just won everything, didn't we? So use Geth, use a bunch of bombs, throw some stuff into the graveyard so you can get your bombs. Use Psychic Pickpocket to go ahead and you know, connive and really get a bomb a turn basically in, and then you just bring it out with Geth the next turn. The Sheoldred's Edicts worked great. Fading Hopes and Slip Out the Back help us survive for a little bit longer. We don't have to worry about our card being exiled when it comes back phased in. It's all wonderful. All right, that's all from Travis from Tpull's Corner. Remember to like and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I'll catch you next time.